just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. So, whatever is comfortable for you, you know. So if you're sitting at your desk and you've got both legs down, you can just really feel the sensation of the feet in the floor or your shoes, whatever it is you're wearing. Have your feet about a hip's width apart. If you're sitting cross-legged, you'll also notice just feel the weight of your legs on your feet. The sensation of your sits bones in your chair and your hands just resting in your lap. Right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. And bring your attention now to the crown of the head. Just notice the sensation at the crown. And then now just imagine your spine is a beautiful string of pearls of light, sort of stretching from the base all the way up to the crown of the head and beyond. So just allow yourself that. Imagine you're lengthening your spine, putting some space in between your vertebrae. And just imagine it getting nice and long. And now go back to the crown of the head and just release any tension from your scalp. Just let all the tension go, and then relax your forehead and your eyebrows, your eyes, eyeballs, eyelashes, the nose, the cheeks, your mouth, the jaw, back of the tongue, the back of the head. And just allow your shoulders and your shoulder blades to just drop down. And relax your throat and chest and belly and all of your limbs. And then notice the breath sensations as you inhale and exhale. So, when we are up at altitude, you really do get to understand about the breath, because it's actually quite hard to get oxygen. And as my Tibetan doctor told me, that the higher you go, the colder it is, the less oxygen. So really, it's the temperature, so if it's slightly warmer, there's not so much a sense of not being able to breathe. So just notice your breath. Really appreciate the fact that you can inhale and exhale. And when you're breathing in around the chest cavity, just notice your lungs expanding 360 degrees, your rib cage expanding 360 degrees. And be aware of any distractions in your environment, your immediate environment. Just allowing them to be there and trying not to, follow along with the mind, So because we're all online, The various distractions are going to be slightly different according to where you live, time of day, night. And then just notice how your mind is this evening. It's always good to, excuse me, at least 5 times a week, we're checking in with our mind. And, for those of you who are also doing the morning meditations 7 times a week, you're checking in with your mind. So it's good for us to just do that, even when we wake up. It's like, well, where are we at this morning? So just allow the thoughts to bubble up and to abide, and then try not to drift off with the story. And just allow the thoughts to be there, be aware of them, and then just let them go. Go back to the breath. And then bringing to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, the strangers, and the ones you don't really like so much. So, on our pilgrimage, there was, I don't think, any disharmony at all. Like, I think Ree said, confirmed last night, because I wasn't with the group for a few days because I was sick. But it just seemed to me it was just a very happy, harmonious, supportive group. So there wasn't, for that period of time, there was no kind of agitation in the mind. No one really crossed our path that was irritating or annoying or making us angry. It was like an absence of an annoying person. And lots of friends around. And many strangers. So we had on the track with us, when we were coming back down, the population of trekkers on the track had increased enormously. So there was queues, there was a lot of people, there was a lot of animals, pack animals, donkeys, zobgo, which are a mixture between a cow and a yak. And there was a lot of people on the path coming back down. So many, many strangers, all equal in their wish to be happy, the wish to not suffer, and having this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this practice this evening for all these people in our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we start by thinking there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. So this is very important to remember. We are the creators of our own mind. And we can mold it into whichever way we want. But we first have to see what's, excuse me, we first have to see what's there. We start with this power of regret. So regret's not guilt. Guilt's a kind of a, shameful, angry at self kind of emotion. But regret is more like, well, I've done this thing, maybe I want to do something about it. Regret's, just exactly as it says. But it's not guilt. So sincere regret from the depths of your heart, anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. So you can think of specific actions of your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. So we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we can't bear the thought of any future suffering. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So really logically it makes sense to remove those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think I'm sick of this suffering, and then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're not looking for a higher power or a God or this. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and you can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right, the left holding a bell. This represents wisdom, and the right holding a vajra, and this represents the indestructibility of compassion. And they're being crossed like this represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, so we have a little section here on just that. We need to rely upon other beings. So the beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So think about someone you've harmed, something you've harmed, some animal maybe you've harmed, and just wish for them to be free from suffering. And then think about people who've harmed you, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So you have compassion for them. So right now, you know, there's a lot of things going on in this country which seem really unfair and are making people kind of just angry and frustrated. And the people who have created that situation for the general population, it's a good idea for us to think compassionately about them, because the amount of people that are being harmed is huge. It's enormous. They're impacting millions and millions of people. So the idea is to have compassion for them, of course, as well as the people who are being harmed. If it's possible to bring it to your heart, just wish for them to be free from suffering, because it will come back like a boomerang. So then we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida mebowa, sitokaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, anarakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Juda Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body. This time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip, the harsh speech, the useless speech, and lying, talking about people behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you, as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Juda Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Juda Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Juda Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Juda Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorekta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kamasita me. Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Ambhadra Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just as instantaneously as when you flick on a switch in a dark room and the light comes. So the light from Vajrasattva's heart comes, it hits your heart, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness and anger and bitterness and grudges, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Drida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Drida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Drida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Drida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Drida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering, the cause of why we harm others, and with our body and our speech, imagine this is completely purified, it's gone. And think now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. So we're working at a much more subtle level here. So you imagine all the nectar flowing down, pushing out all the negativity of the body, the nectar flowing up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech, and then the light coming and just blasting all the delusions. And you imagine this is happening all at the same time. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimbi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and the final step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So, in order to do anything, we have to make a decision. We have to decide. So just decide. Of course, obviously, everybody that's here tonight has already made that decision. They don't want to harm, otherwise it wouldn't be here. But again, just keep reminding yourself, because, I think a lot of the harm that we do is actually internal to ourselves. So include yourself in that. So then rejoice in your own efforts in doing this practice now. So long. We have, I think, 2 months left before 2026 rolls around, and before we enter our 6th year of doing this practice. Almost a decade. I mean, it's getting close to being a decade. It's really interesting. Okay. So then think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. Keep it simple. Don't give yourself a hard time. Just something easy. A really good idea not to start with the hard stuff first. And then Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So then this little bit on emptiness, Rinpoche would say, in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So you just, as you place your mind there for a moment, even if you just only understand the word emptiness, and for Jerry and Ree, who are on the trek, on the pilgrimage, and did quite a bit of, received quite a few teachings from Charaklama on emptiness. Just don't forget to reflect on those teachings. So, you know, in this way, we look at all phenomena as being empty. Things just don't exist from their own side. They don't appear to, then, you know, the way they appear to us isn't necessarily the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created this evening, doing this practice for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. And then let's do chanting the names of Manjushri, wherever we're up to. Unrivaled knight in battle with afflictions, humiliating ignorance, his foe, the celebrated mind of amorousness, endowed with forms heroic and repulsive, the dancer moving to and fro, his hundreds of lengthy arms while setting down his stride, the dancer spreading through the whole of space and filling it with Smirat's 100 arms, stood tall atop the surface of the earth, the sole of just 1 foot pervading all, stood tall atop the summit of the world, the nail of his big toe suppressing all. It's great. Okay, everybody. Let's make a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, and for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all of your own individual teachers, the ones who benefit your mind. All right, everybody. Good night. Thank you, Shayla, for hosting. I will see you tomorrow evening. Okay, thank you so much. Lots of love, everybody.